We're back in full effect.
I know, man. It's been a while. Our good friend Naren had to take off to Nepal, the homeland, for a while.
Need to go touch the family and touch the root and come back. And now he's ready. He's focused now because you got to go back and touch the root. You know, we get away from the root, but you got to go back, rub it, and come back again, and life just continue on.
Well, yeah, especially if he's now in like a really big city. That's Vancouver's kind of like become pretty fast moving now.
Mm-hmm. It's growing a lot.
And so then you go back to Nepal and it's just like,
well, it's a totally different ball game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good to go back and do that, though. You know, a little bit of humble pie, make you appreciate the things that you do have.
And then like what he was saying is that like he went back to see family.
Yeah.
And it was for a positive reason.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like everybody's healthy, everybody's happy, and it's like, whoa. That's pretty cool. Like when you can go back, it's not for a funeral. You know?
Exactly. Well, there you go. Right. So it's not for a funeral. It's for a good occasion of seeing family, touching base with them. It's a beautiful thing, and it's good to have the opportunity to get out there and see family, because family is important, right? So.
Well, and again, like we're all from foreign countries.
Yeah.
And like we're all here in Vancouver, but like and so you're kind of like, well. Oh, I got work. I got to do this. I got to do that. And then you'll make every excuse up in the book, like why you can't go back.
Well, there you go. Right. You see? So here comes the excuses, right? Stop with the excuses. Just make it happen.
And you're like, oh, man, then the plane ride to Jamaica is going to be so long. And like, I'm going to be tired. And it's,
Yeah, but when you get there, it's going to feel so good, you know. So it's all good, though. It's a part of the process. And we got to go through it, right?
Well, and also we were talking a little bit earlier about kind of having that guide with you is like you'll kind of sense when it's the right time to do something,
right? And you just react to it. You gotta jump on it. You know what I mean? Because life is so short. Anything can happen in a split second, and it just changes everything, right? So seize the moment when it comes.
Well, and it's funny is like I did that. So like since the last time we got together, there's been a couple of things like kind of during the summer that I've taken part of that I normally wouldn't. Right? It's like so I'm at a convention in Las Vegas back in like April.
Okay.
And a friend of a friend actually. We ended up just hanging out that week, and he was like, hey, do you like fishing? I said, yeah, sure. I like to fish, like.
Who doesn't like to fish?
Fishing's cool. And he's like, well, do you want to go fly fishing in Missoula? And I was like, that, like, everything sounded very bizarre to me.
Yeah.
But, I said, yeah, sure.
Sure, why not? Mm-hmm. What happened?
I didn't know what I was signing up for, I had no idea, but I just like something was telling me like just say yes, like don't overthink it, don't hesitate. Someone's asking you to do something like, and so it's kind of like I remember an Indian friend of mine. He taught me that when someone offers you something, you should always accept.
Right. True. Yep.
I didn't know that, like because I always be like, oh no, like I'm okay, like I didn't want to be a burden. But it was like no, like you gotta look at it from the other point of view. Is like if someone wants to give you something, like it makes them feel good to give. And again, it's like
that's so true.
It's all this stuff in their book. But like at the same time, I'm kind of oblivious to a lot of stuff, and so the point is like so it was him, me, and like 10 other scrap guys, and we're going fishing on the river, and I'm like I don't know,
what I got myself into.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like so like day one, like, and we're talking like we're getting up early, like 5:30, 6 in the morning. We're on the river at like 7, and we're going all day. Like I didn't know. And then like you gotta like cast the thing, and like it has to land, and then like so everything's moving. So the line is moving.
The water's moving.
The water's moving. The boat's moving.
Yeah.
The fish are moving.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah,
Like
yeah.
everything
Thing
is moving.
Yeah.
And so like I was thinking like how we go deep sea fishing, right? It's
Yeah.
like you put 4 lines, you're drinking beers.
Yeah.
And you
That
just
was
wait
it.
until one line dips and you're like,
Oh,
fish
there we
on.
go. I got one. Yeah.
Fish on.
Yeah.
And then you fight it and
Yeah.
you're good. That's what I was
was
thinking.
thinking, yeah, that's your perception of what you had in your brain.
So I'm like, and they're like, no, like throw it there. And I'm like,
What?
he's like, no, throw it there. I'm like,
Are you sure?
no, I couldn't get it there. And like you got to pull the string, right?
Yeah.
And like it was like, wow.
Wow.
Like, so no, you're not drinking beers.
Yeah. Oh,
you're not
no.
chilling.
No, you're working. You're getting it done.
So that's what I learned. Is like, so we were talking about this a little earlier, where it's just like, you know, when you can't think of anything else, you know,
Yeah.
it's like when you're doing something and you're so in it that like everything else kind of fades away, and that's what fly fishing is.
Oh, wow. I've never tried it, but.
That's what it is. Is like, so eventually, yeah, I caught fish.
Oh, good. Okay. Because that was going to be my question. Did you catch anything, or was it just.
I
the
caught them. I did.
Well, alrighty then.
But all I'm saying is like the level of concentration
Yeah.
that you need in order to do fly fishing on a river in a boat, where
everything is moving.
Literally everything's moving.
Yeah.
And there's wind,
Wow.
right? So
So you were just in a total different. You're like in a different world. But it was exciting at the same time.
It truly was. It was a
unknown.
different world.
Yeah.
Because like again, like we were talking about, you throw your lines in the water, you grab a beer, you're chilling, and then when a rod dips, you're like, cool,
Yeah.
there's a fish.
Yeah.
Like this is like, whoa.
Wow.
And so all I'm trying to get to is like so there's a couple points here. Is like, one is to say yes,
Yeah.
one is to receive.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I was like, if someone wants to give you something, don't think that you're a burden
That's right. Or
you're depleting them.
right.
If it makes them feel good.
That's so true. And you know, it's funny that you talk about that, because that happened to me a couple of weeks ago, where I just felt like I wanted a beer. I just wanted one beer. I don't know why. I just felt I needed a beer. So I went to the liquor store at the corner. And as I'm walking in, there was a gentleman that was walking maybe 4 or 5 feet behind me. But I held the door, you know, as he was coming in. And he went like, oh, thank you. I said, no problem.
It's a nice thing to do.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I went inside. I'm looking for where that one beer is. I couldn't find it because they changed the whole setup.
layout.
Yeah, the whole layout. So I couldn't find it. I said, okay, well, I guess I'm forced to now get a 6-pack. I don't want a 6-pack. I just wanted one beer.
Did you get some PBR in cans?
Yeah, I did.
The champagne of beer?
So the gentleman that I held the door for, he was up in the front, you know, cashing out and stuff. So I'm behind him. I'm sitting there waiting. And he turns to the cashier and points to me and says, I'm going to buy his beer. I go, oh, no, man, it's all good, you know. He goes, no. He goes, nobody holds the door for anybody anymore.
Really?
And he goes, I appreciate that. I go, thanks, man. I said, I really appreciate that. I said, no, I said, this is the way I was taught to walk good and to do these things.
To
so
be a
it falls
gentleman.
into the walk good business of, you know, yes, it wasn't a female, but it didn't matter. It was an individual that I was holding the door for.
But like this is what you said before. Is like it's just a small little thing.
It's a small little thing, but yet it was such a big reward, because I was not expecting him to really do that. But when he said he's going to do that, at first I said no. But then, like you were saying, I said okay, because he wanted to do that. For him, it was he was feeling good.
What lasts longer, you know, when you give or when you take?
When you give.
What like that's simple, man.
Yeah.
It's like, so that feeling for him, he probably felt that way all night, and he probably even told his buddies, "Oh, this Jamaican guy held the door open for me, and so I bought him a beer."
He wasn't expecting that, and I mean, I just didn't naturally what comes to anybody that I would hold the door for. But again, I wasn't expecting that. So the tying with what you were saying about say yeah, and I didn't.
Say yes, and so it makes those people feel good.
Yeah.
So yeah, my friend Zach, he was like, "Oh, like seriously, you want to come?" I'm like, I said yes, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, so he was really happy.
Yeah.
And like, So again, I just met him in April, and then since then, dude, we talk all the time.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Right, and so it's really just it's really neat. The second point was that being able to 100% escape from all of the stuff, and we were talking about this where you got your little man cave, where you can just like completely unplug, which is so healthy.
Yeah, it is.
And so like okay, so let's say like we're deep sea fishing, right? Let's say like we went to Tofino, we chartered a boat and we're going after kings, right? And so we got the rods in there. What are we doing? We're on our phones, we're drinking, smoking, you know, fish, you know. Whereas on this, no phone, no smokes, no drink, no thinking about business, like
shut it down.
Whoa.
Mind blowing that you can actually still go back and do that to when we never have all these things that distracting us and want our attention to be in the moment.
You physically couldn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like so if you think of it as like, imagine if someone just held your hands behind your back. Try using your phone now.
Yeah.
Right? And so like realistically, like that is a really good practice, you know, not necessarily tying your hands behind your back.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it's like a good practice just to at least like put it down for like a while.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's good to unplug, man. There's so many good things that come from unplugging from a situation. Give you a chance to be able to see things on a different level. Put it down. It's not going to hurt you, but, you know, we get so accustomed to it that we feel if we do, we're missing something. Well, you can't miss something if you don't leave it alone. You got to leave it for you to be able to...
Well, or you can look at it from a different lens, and, like, this is what I try to, like, kind of go, let's think outside the box a little bit. It's like, so you were just saying, like, okay, well, what am I missing, right? Yeah. Or you could look forward to all of the stuff that's going to be waiting for you.
Exactly. But
there's two sides to look at it.
That's right. But you got to give it that opportunity for it to be left alone in order for these good things to come and dump itself in while you're doing what you're doing.
One is like anxious and one is excitement.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, well, anxiety leads to stress, leads to depression, leads to death. You know, it's like excitement is happy, you know, healthy.
Yep.
Fun, you know, like, I mean, that's like there's the two channels, like, and so that's the thing, man. That's the thing, is like that's, you know, that's it right there. Right.
No, it's a beautiful thing. No, I'm glad you had the opportunity to do that, to get out of your comfort zone and just say yes, not knowing what it is that you're walking into, but then all that experience that you gain from that. Now you're probably a master fly fisher now, aren't you? You probably mastered it by the end of the day.
Is end of 2 days? No.
Okay, well, I was...
No, but thank you.
Yeah, well, no problem. I was hoping that, you know, trying to help you out there.
But you know what? I will definitely go again.
There you go.
Because, like, not necessarily, like, hey, the fishing, I think, is going to take a while to get really good at it. It's that mental escape, you know?
We need mental escape.
Right.
We need to be able to break away. And I mean, we talk about in the book about meditation, to break away from everything that's happening, the stress, the crying baby, the work, you name it. Just to give yourself that opportunity to have that moment just to recharge. It's just like we're talking about Naren going away. Having the opportunity to recharge, to see his family, see everybody, and now come back with a different vision. He's more relaxed because now he went and touched root. When you touch the root, life looks good because we're far away from the root, from where we begin. So we got to go back to it. It's just like working out. You know, they think that, you know, using all the big weights, and they forget to go back to the basics of the smaller weights.
Well, because, like when you're lifting the heavier weights, your form isn't the same as when you're doing lighter weights, right? And so you're right. You know,
you got to get those small little pieces in order to know.
Well, and going back to the basics, and like, so I think like that's something that you and I talk about is, you know, let's simplify things.
What we say? Keep it simple, stupid.
Right.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Don't overcomplicate it, because life doesn't need to be overcomplicated. It's very simple, you know. And as long as we stay within that zone of that, man, your life is gonna be awesome. People wondering why I'm always happy. They always ask me that question. Why am I always happy? I said, well, because I get up in the morning and I prep myself.
Like,
You know?
but again, it's like the first one is sleep.
Yeah,
Like,
you gotta get that sleep.
right,
Right.
and like so it's all this boring stuff, and so we were just talking about this
Yeah,
before we got on
we
here.
were, yeah.
Is like so, and again, like there's all these different graphics, infographics as they call them.
Yeah.
Is like say like the tip of an iceberg, and then like below is like it's gigantic,
Massive.
and
Massive, right?
so like that it can be a representation for so many different things. And like
Absolutely.
so in this case it's like, well, why is Delroy so happy? Everyone just sees the tip.
Yeah.
Oh, he's always happy, and it's
Yeah.
just like you don't see
See?
all of the work.
That I had to do in order for me to maintain that happiness that you benefit from.
Right.
But it's worth it. It's worth it for me to share that with you. But it's okay. You don't need to see the things I had to go through in order to get there. The bottom line is that you get the goodness, and that's what I want to show you. Is the goodness.
Well, and that's the thing is like you want to try and we always pull this out of Wallace Wattles' book is like the science of getting rich is the impression of increase.
Yes.
Right. And like so you're a master at that.
Oh, I believe.
Like every
that
time
statement.
someone meets with you,
Yeah.
like they always feel better.
Yeah, they feel better, and it feels good to know that they feel good. In the touch with that, yeah. So just before that, what we talk about where that guy wanted to purchase my stuff for me, you know, just driving on the street is just again walk good, just doing things the right way. You know, normally someone lets me in, I say thanks. You know, so I thank this guy for letting me in. And as I made my turn into the lane, I wind my window down and put my hands up again and say, "Hey, thanks."
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I didn't have to do that. I already said thanks to him, but I just felt I needed to do that one more time.
You don't have to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I don't
dude.
do a lot of stuff. It didn't cost me anything.
Right.
And so we got to the stoplight, and, you know, I see the person winding their window down. So he winded the window down, and I wind my window down. And he said, "You know what? I really appreciated you giving me that, you know, thank you for the lane." I said, "Oh, man." I said, "No, I appreciate you too. Thanks for validating that, because this is something that I do every day and give that respect and to anyone. But I want to thank you for letting me know that me doing that, I should continue doing that because someone does notice, and you did. So thank you so much. Thank you for letting me
Well,
in."
and so yeah, he noticed that.
Yeah.
Probably because no one's ever done
No,
it.
right, exactly, because most of the people don't, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're driving, you let them in, they don't even bother even say thank you, or
No.
someone trying to merge in and they come and force their way on you, and no thank you or anything. Like if you have to let them in, I don't have to let you in, I don't have to do anything. But if someone does that for you, at least have the decency to say, acknowledge, put on your four-way flasher to say thank you. Or wind your window down and put your hand on thank you. Because I didn't have to let you in.
Yeah.
I didn't have to, and I don't have to.
Yeah.
But when you're walking good, then that's what you're going to do, right? When you walk good business, that's what you do. You don't have to think about it. You just go be it to
Yeah,
do it, right?
and so I think like that's kind of like the thing. Is like, you know, we call it walk good, or we call it walk good business.
Walk good, yeah.
You know, is like, so what I'll do now is like I'll see stuff on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And all I'll do is just go at walk good business.
Yeah.
Like they'll be saying like something like, you know, a positive story about you know, like, you know, the value that this business gave or whatever. I just go walk good business. And like it's now like it's just a phrase.
Yeah.
Like, so whenever I see something positive, I'm like, oh, walk good business.
It's funny because I do the same thing too. That I'm finding myself saying, yeah, that's walk good business, man. That, you know, when I see somebody do something that's, you know, really positive, I say, yeah, that's walk good business. I like that.
So all I'm saying is like, I don't think there are many catchphrases out there for doing business the right way. You know, like I haven't heard anybody go be like, right way business or whatever, you know, like so I just think like maybe we've created like a thing.
Think exactly. Walk good, baby. Walk good business. That's the catchphrase. That's ours. You can't take it. It's patent. Did we What's the word I'm looking for? Did we
Trademark.
Yeah, trademark it. I think we did, right?
No. Okay.
Right. Well, it's trademarked right now. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
It's done. Okay. So don't even try.
I think once you own like the domain name,
Yeah.
you kind of like if you flip to the back cover, walkgood.biz, walkgood.biz
Yeah.
as in business, right? And so yeah, like I mean, and it's funny is like so like an example of walk good business is like what you just did, man. Like so you have like a series of different properties that you also rent out, which is great because there's certainly a lack of housing in this city. So I know that like, hey, it's that balance that you have to find. Is like you're like, well, okay, why did I do it? Well, I did it to make money, but at the same time, you're also doing a mitzvah in that you're providing affordable housing for somebody.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so now, not every tenant is cut from the same cloth.
No, of course not. Not everybody is, and you kind of quickly realize that, but it doesn't matter. I'm still gonna give good service regardless of who you are or how you choose to want to live. That's your business and live. But I don't mind providing for people to have a place to call home, so they can walk in and feel good.
Totally.
But don't disrespect and damage your property. Don't disrespect and start doing things, because that's your home as well too. So why would you damage your home if why?
Well, I mean, but
yeah,
wait, there's that phrase, drive it like it's a rental.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And like you'll rip apart a rental car, but you're like, don't rip apart my rental
car.
house.
So I'm just saying, okay, so you want to have walk good business service given to you, but yet you're going to drive the rental vehicle to the ground.
Oopsies.
But not mine. Just mine is, no, you're supposed to still respect that. Because you're a customer somewhere else, right?
Okay.
I'm a customer somewhere else.
So then, like, let's just remove that phrase.
Let's
don't drive it like it's a rental. Just treat it nicely.
Treat it like if it's yours.
There you go.
Because how would you like it if I take your vehicle and I just drive it like, I just don't care? How would you feel? You gonna like it? Or you gonna love it?
I guess if you hit the supercharger, then I'm like, okay, let's go.
Okay, right? So it goes to show. It's very simple. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure this out. What you do is going to follow you. So if you go give shitty service, and you go somewhere else and you get shitty service, then why are you upset? I think we talked about this before. Why are you? But you're not giving good service over here.
Wait a minute. You're saying that like there's a connection?
Yeah.
What?
Yes, there's a connection.
No.
Well, yeah.
No way.
I know you don't want to believe it, but.
So you mean like if you do something kind of like rude, you might get rude back?
We're like magnets.
What?
Yeah, we're like magnets. So if we're like a magnet. If you're gonna do that and practice that every day, guess what? That's exactly what you are drawing to you every single time.
But with your rental, you went in there and you had to clean everything up.
I had to fix all the damages. The government wasn't there to help me.
What Trudeau didn't show
up?
Yeah,
Trudeau didn't.
I hear he was at the parade though, man.
Well, he didn't come to the parade at my rental to help me, and says, yes, I understand. But
he is too busy.
Yeah, well, he's busy. I understand. So, I got to go in there and I have to fix all these things that, these folks decide, well, it's not mine. I could do whatever. What? No, you can't. I said, because guess what? Karma is a bugger. Yeah. If you don't know karma, I'm going to introduce you to karma. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not very nice, but it's exactly what it is that you put out that you're going to get your just.
So again, like for all those folks out there is like, so it's like, so there's universal laws.
It is a universal law.
There's one called cause and effect, right? Karma, or, payback is a bitch.
Well, pick whichever one that suits you. Payback is a bitch, karma, whatever it is. It's got your name on it. But like I said, here it is. I am saying to this guy, hey, thank you. And he pulls me over, winds his window down and said, hey, thank you. I appreciate that.
Bingo.
Well, I did that. So that what I put out is what I got back.
But yet you didn't expect
Nope.
it. So it was kind of like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Like, So that's the thing is that like you will be amazed.
Yes. Say it. I know you say it.
at what you put out will come back. And like so that's the thing is like just keep like a mental. You could actually have like a little notepad.
Yeah,
and
just
go
keep a note.
Go, okay, I just did something good, something good, I did something bad. Did something good, did something, and then you go, well, what happened? Oh, I had something good happen. Oh, I had something bad happen. Something, So then just keep that log. And go, okay, I'm gonna try today. And again, the key word is try. Because even you lose your temper.
Absolutely.
And so try to do, just do good stuff in one day and tell me how it feels.
Yeah, you don't want to come off like, say, well, you don't get upset. These things don't affect you. Of course, that's why.
Dude, even Buddhist monks get upset, man. Come on.
That's the reason why we're able to share this with you, because now I've gone through these things, so I understand, the makeup of it. And to say that, I never get mad or whatever, that is not even true.
No,
that means I'm not human. I need to feel what it is. I need to learn from that, me getting upset or whatever.
Those
but
guide rails.
The guide rails you were talking about earlier. So there's a guide rail to tell us, when you do something wrong. When you do something right.
It's like auto-correcting.
It's auto-correct, right? So it, you can feel it, but there's two things happen. Well, you're going to say, it's wrong, but you're just going to ignore it and just pretend that, nobody's going to see it. Somebody's seeing it. You're seeing it. It's a part of you.
You just know it.
You just know it.
Yeah.
It's a part of you. So
I mean, unless you're like totally like numb to whatever, and
that's what I'm saying.
It's a different story.
It's a different story if you're numb, right?
But like most of the time,
absolutely,
is it right or wrong?
It's a built-in thing that everybody has that and again, like I said, either you learn from it and say okay, or you're just gonna just say, well, forget it, whatever. So now once you keep ignoring it, then it becomes a part of it. Then you're gonna think it's normal being that way. So when you get that same reaction, now you're all surprised. Well, but wait a second. Last week you were in all that last week. Yeah, okay. So what have you not learned?
Well, and so all I'm saying is like, so how you conduct your business.
That's right.
Is like, so,
yes.
From what I understand is like you missed out on some, so typically, for those that don't know, is that you want to rent your property at the very beginning of the month, month to month, right? Yeah. And in this case, you weren't able to rent it at the beginning of the month. No, is that correct?
That's right. You weren't able to, because you had to go in there, you had to go fix these things that, people become more, what's the word I'm looking for? Laid back. They don't put any emergency to it, and so now you got to go fix it. Well, there's a cost of fixing it.
And it takes time to do it as well.
Yeah, it takes time to do that.
And so, like, I guess that equates to a cost as well.
Yeah, there's a cost.
Right?
Yeah.
So you lost that amount of rent that you could have been collecting, plus all of the cost to the repairs.
That's right. Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So if people would just keep their stuff, walk good business, that's a lot more easier to transition.
So renters out there, take care of the place that you're staying in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And don't come to me later on and say, well, my damage deposit, your damage deposit don't cover half of the stuff that you didn't do what you need to do. Now you're worried about your damage deposit. Well, wait a second. You should have worried about that when you first started. You should have upkeep it at the time that you are. So that way, when it's time to check out, it's not so much work in order to do, and then you wouldn't have to worry about my damage deposit.
Maybe we should like call it something different, because I feel like damage deposit has become, like something that like you're just like, oh yeah, that's right, the damage deposit is this. But like I think it's just become kind of a phrase that no one sees the responsibility involved in it. Oops, I said responsibility.
There you go.
Man. And so if you call it like, a fine for being sloppy or destroying my place, that's what we're holding on to. It's a fine if you destroy my place.
Yeah.
Why don't you start with that?
Okay,
dude?
I like that.
Because if you drive that in, because again, damage deposit just kind of rolls off. And you're like, oh yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
But if you go, this is a fine if you destroy my place.
That's right.
And people would be like, oh.
Yes.
So if you're like a little bit more stern in the beginning, maybe, I don't know.
Well, you know what? you want to have trust in people, and in everyone. You give them the benefit of the doubt until they prove you're wrong.
Right. That's true.
So, I have to just do that. And again, at the end of the day, it's going to be up to them. I'm not here to police you.
That's true.
To tell you how to live your life or whatever. Live your life, but no, there's a price that comes along with it. There's a price that comes along with it. So that's why we strive every day to walk good. That's why every day when we stumble, when we fall, we get back up and says, okay, them guide rails are there telling me I don't want to do that. Okay, so I try. I try every day to do my best. Do I fall down? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I like falling down so I can get back up.
That's truth.
Because the more I fall down, the more I learn.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of falling. I'm not afraid of being wrong. I like being wrong so I can learn. You can never be right if you never learn to be wrong.
Well,
right?
or seek comfort in discomfort.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Seek comfort in discomfort.
No, I know it's hard. Saying it is easy, but I know it's hard for a lot of people to understand that when you're going through it, right?
But the better, like the more you do that,
yes,
the better you become at it. It's kind of just like riding a bike. Is like so continue to put yourself in uncomfortable situations.
That's right.
And again, it's like, well, why? It's because you grow.
You grow.
Yeah.
And if you're not putting yourself in those uncomfortable positions, then you're not growing. You're just standstill. And what happens to standstill water? It creates all kind of not good stuff.
Bacteria.
The water needs to be flowing.
Well, or if you're just like in a nice warm cuddly blanket all your life.
Yeah.
And like, so guess what happens when you lose your little blankie? What happens? You're probably gonna die, dude, because you've been in it your whole life, you know. And so yeah, you have to try these different things, and so it's all about learning. It's about getting better, and like the minute that you say that, like, oh I'm good, man,
you done lost already. I am not good. I am still learning each and every day, and I love the process of getting up every morning and learning. I mean, that's the reason why we came up with the book, to help people to share our experience with others so that they can learn from it, just like we have learned from others before us, and we're just paying it forward, right?
Yeah, and I mean that's what it is like we kind of like put this together and we're doing this.
Yeah.
Just so that's kind of like a cheat code. You know, it's like, so like the old Nintendo cheat code was up, down, left, right.
That's right.
BA start.
That's right.
And that would get you unlimited lives. So,
that's right.
So we're giving you a cheat code in this book.
Yeah.
Walk Good Business, and again, it's really thin. It's you can knock it down in an afternoon. Naren, didn't you like read it in an afternoon?
Yeah. Yeah.
One afternoon. There you go.
It's an easy, and that's what I like. It's an easy read. And there's so much goodness in this book that you can learn from and utilize it in your everyday life as you move about. So I'm really proud of what we've come up with this book and trying to give back to society, so to help them, to
well, and so we talk about its value, you know, like that's like the very opening part of this book is talking about value.
Yeah, we got to give you the value.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have value, then what do you got?
Right, and so now you're like, well, what does value mean, and how does it work, right? Is like so again is like, so we can talk about, we usually talk about, the value that we're not receiving for the money that we're spending, and like, so, but I would rather, like, instead of talking on like the negative side, let's talk about on the positive side.
Exactly.
So we already talked about how you do your properties and how, like, hey, if it's destroyed, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna make it perfect again, so that's ready for the next person that can move in and go,
wow,
right?
But they haven't seen the disaster behind,
right?
Like that, you're talking about the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg, but underneath is that nobody sees that.
Yeah,
right?
how like you said, like you were there last night until what time?
Till about 8, 9 o'clock. Right?
After you had been working all day, and then like today,
that's why I needed to give myself that time to say,
man.
Just to recharge and just give back to myself again, giving value back to myself, right? Because if I don't give it to myself, who's going to give it to me? Because it starts from
it's your cup, dude.
It's my cup, Everybody's got their cup.
When your cup gets depleted,
Yeah.
You had better stop doing everything for everybody else and just focus on yourself.
You got to pour some back
And
inside.
that now someone will be like, "Oh, that's selfish." It's like, well, dude, it's not, because like once I'm full, then I can give more. But when I'm depleted, I can't give.
You can't give. So, you know, you got to fill that reservoir back up so you can keep on giving. So that's why, you know, I look forward to every day falling down, getting back up, getting that knowledge so I can go out in the day and touch people and make their lives happy. Because they're always looking for me. Where is that guy? He's always so happy.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You know, they go, oh, it's you. Oh, who you talking to? Me?
And again, like that's all they see, because
Yeah.
they usually just see you at work.
Yeah.
And so like, and you try to be consistent,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes.
And
That's a good word. Yeah.
well, but like
Yeah.
but that's something that I pride myself on as well. So every time for the past 25 years that we've always met, it's always like consistent.
Yeah.
Like it's not like,
Yeah.
you know, one day Delroy's bitchy and he's just like, "Hi, Brad." You know, like you've never done that.
Yeah.
I've never done the
That's
same
right.
thing
That's right.
to
Yeah.
you, because we really pride ourselves on that consistency because of the expectations that other people have
That's right.
for us.
That's right.
Right?
So it doesn't matter if I'm having a bad day or whatever. I dig deep to find out, because they're relying on me to be happy so that they can get through their day. So it's a big responsibility, and I take that seriously, and I appreciate that, because that's what I've delivered to them in every day.
It is.
You know?
And that's what we talked about before, is that like we actually, as kind of, if you call us whatever you want to call us, happy-go-lucky people,
Yeah.
right? Let's say like that's
Yeah.
you know, that's kind of how they'll
Yeah.
term it. Oh, you're just
He's
happy-go-lucky.
happy-lucky. Yeah,
And
happy-go-lucky.
it's like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
You know, but when you are that person,
Yeah.
you kind of have more responsibility than the bitchy people.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Right? Because like you already know the bitchy people are kind of like,
whatever.
whatever.
You know.
But like people are depending on you to uplift them.
You say be consistent. You have to. Even when you're not feeling good, they're expecting you to be happy. That's what they're expecting when they see you. Because if they see you not like that, they want to
Then it throws everybody
off. So you think it's easy waking up every day trying to be happy, trying to be there so other people can feel good about their day?
Dude, I remember driving into work. Oh my gosh, man. I used to have to like as I'm driving to work, we used to have to like do smile exercises.
How you doing?
Cause like I was just like so depressed with like this is years ago.
Yeah.
And it was just so depressing going into like the work that I was doing. And so as I'm driving, I'm doing like smiling exercises. I'm like, I'm really happy.
Yeah.
You know, and like, so, and then I would get there and people are like, "Hey, Brad." I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man? What's up?" You know, and like, but they don't realize that like the whole drive to work, I'm having to like hold, go like this, you know, like.
Right. But you know what? The more you do it though, the easier it becomes. So you don't have to try anymore. For me, it's so easy now. Just getting up and going and doing what I need to do. It doesn't seem like, oh man, I got to force it. No, it just flows.
Right.
You know, but again, because I've been consistent with it for so long, that it becomes natural for me now to do that. Right?
Well, yeah, and like, but at the same time, it's kind of like you're a performer.
Yeah.
In a sense.
I'm an entertainer.
Is that like these people, you know, like whatever, however many you see in a day, 50 people, 100 people, like they're expecting that show.
Oh, absolutely. Every single time. And if I'm not, they're going like, what's wrong?
They're throwing tomatoes at you.
Yeah. Dude. Yeah, throwing tomatoes.
This guy sucks.
A sack of potatoes and dishes and everything flying. I'm ducking. But I love the fact that they feel happy when they see me, because I look forward to seeing them, and I look forward to taking my excess amount of goodness that I've cultivated and just, you get some, you get some, you get some of that, you get some of that.
Slow down, Oprah.
You get that, you get that. What? You're not feeling good? I say, hey, listen, even how you doing? I'm doing good. I said, even if you weren't feeling good, I still want to know, because I want to know what can I do to make your day be better
Totally.
than what you're feeling today. So
Yeah,
well, good, man.
And again, like we talk about value, and then caring.
Yeah.
Is like kind of like that. That's like the next part of the philosophy is like just caring about your customers.
Yeah.
Caring about your coworkers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so yeah, like when you care about your customers, like and you're focused on value and you're focused on problem solving, right? It's like so that like makes this concoction.
Yeah.
Right, is like caring, value, problem solving, and like when you mix it all together, you put in a blender.
Yep.
It's undeniably good, right? And so what then happens is then you're rewarded for it.
Absolutely.
Right, and so how are you rewarded? In the business world, you're not getting like a hug for doing something. Like people are cutting you a check. And like so, and that's just how it is. And like so, again, with we touched on it where you ask yourself, can we be better? And you're like, yeah, we can always be better, right? And so like that's what we ask ourselves is like, can we give more service? Can we do something? And so it's just like, do we do the same thing every day in our business? No, man. No. Like that's like you're done. Like you have to keep getting better each day.
Better. Absolutely.
And it's just like, well, why are we doing it?
Yeah,
it's for our customers. Right, so we can get them better service. Like today, like we had like a call with Evergreen, which is like a gigantic shipping company, right?
Yeah.
And we're I think we're a medium-sized shipper. We're probably small. I want to call us our medium. I want to say that we're medium.
You're gigantic.
And so like we have a call with our sales rep, and he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
And I we're talking about like the movement of containers from Portland through the port of Tacoma,
right,
and then going over to Korea, right? And like, have you driven from Tacoma to Portland before? Have you driven that little stretch?
I believe once.
So like, but you've been to Seattle, right?
Yeah.
So Seattle to Portland is like 3.5 hour drive, right? And so, but here's the thing is like, so when we load a container, all right, we're loading a container in Portland. It then doesn't leave the harbor in Tacoma for a month.
Wow.
And like, we're trying to understand like, hey man, like our customers over in Korea are waiting for this product that it's a 3-hour drive. I'm like, do you want me to drive my truck down there and pick up the container and schlep it up to Tacoma? Oh, they're like, no, you can't do that. Like it goes on the rail. And so like, again, why did we have this call today? It's because I care about our customer, right?
Yeah.
And so we're having this call and I go, well, like, why does it take so long?
Yeah.
Well, you see, it has to get on a train there,
right?
And then that train goes up to there, and then a different train that only services the port of Tacoma then has to bring that train, and then they have to unload it.
Yeah,
and, it's just like
so. There's a process, and
I go. So really, it would be much faster if I just picked it up with my pickup truck and just drove it. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you can do that if you want. Like we can give you a trucking company." I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
Give us trucking companies, right?
Yeah.
And so again, this is a relationship that we've built over years with Evergreen, and this guy is a really, really cool dude.
Right.
And he understood again. So there's caring happening.
Right.
Even though Evergreen is like a gigantic shipping line, there's individuals that do actually care.
Do understand about the caring part of it, right?
Right. And so again, value, caring, problem solving, right? Yeah. And so we were talking about all those three things on that call today. And so at the end of it is like, he's like, okay, I'll hook you up with some trucking companies that can truck it from Tacoma or from Portland to Tacoma.
Yeah. There you go. So.
And guess what? He emailed like an hour after, here's some trucking companies.
Now you can get that product to your customer, problem solving. Right. So are we growing every day? Yes. You cannot just wake up and go, okay, I already know everything. You always have to keep educating yourself and how to get better and better, even just for your own self. What can I do better today than I did yesterday? So you're always learning, always in that school of learning.
I mean, like
you know?
just think of being on the river in Montana,
Yeah, Montana.
right? Everything was moving.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's moving. Everything's changing is what I'm trying to relate it to.
Yeah.
It's like, so everything is changing in our world around us.
Absolutely.
And yet we're trying to keep it the same every day.
Yeah, unfortunately, life doesn't work that way. Life keeps moving because yesterday was yesterday. That's why I call yesterday. And today is today. It's always changing and moving,
and
right?
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it because like we're comfort seeking beings.
Well,
And so is it more comfortable if everything stayed the same? Yeah, man. Like if everything was exactly the same each day, you're just like, I know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's the joy of not knowing what's going to happen each day, right?
But it's also not necessarily comfortable. And so, again, it's the phrase, find comfort in discomfort.
Say it again, because I don't think they heard you.
It's a tongue twister. It's
Say it again, yeah.
No, how about we say unique New York 10 times?
All right. No.
Okay, we're going to skip that one.
Yeah. We're just
But finding comfort in discomfort.
finding comfort in discomfort.
It's like what is he saying? It's like, well,
Find comfort in discomfort.
mm-hmm.
Make your brain cell kind of go loopy but it's simple. Find comfort in discomfort.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Keep it simple. Don't overthink it.
And so again, what is the whole point of that exercise? Is growth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, it's up to you.
Yeah, because some people don't want to grow though. Some people,
And that's fine.
and that's fine. As long as you're happy with that, don't bitch, don't complain.
Don't expect more.
Right.
If you're not willing to give more.
Right.
Right.
Right. Like I said, if you want to be extraordinary, then you have to do extraordinary things.
It's work, man.
It's work, man.
It's work.
Work.
It's fucking work.
It's
man.
work, man. You see?
Yeah.
Don't be fooled by the smiling face and the happiness.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work going into prepping up, getting up in the morning. I'm up early in the morning. I'm prepping my mind mentally. I'm prepping my body, stretching.
Yeah.
So by the time I get to my destination, I'm ready to go. But you didn't see the preparation behind the scene. All you see is a happy person coming in. And good morning, how you doing? And you're like half asleep. And, I have one person go, why is that person's face, always so miserable? I said, did you look at the mirror at your face? Where do you get off saying about that person's face is not happy?
Yeah.
But I'm looking at your face. You're not smiling.
Hold on a minute.
There's no whole lot of love there. But
yeah.
you want to. So from that, they didn't say anything to me because I just took the mirror and said, take a look at your face.
What's up with that?
What is your face saying?
What up with that?
It ain't saying a whole lot of nothing right now. So they just shut up and said, I thought so. Yeah. You got to put the work in. How dare you judge someone and you yourself is not even doing the work? It's best you just stay silent and say nothing, okay? That's what you should do. Until your face change and your attitude change, then you can say something. Other than that, stay where you're at and
Impression
stay in your
of
lane.
increase.
Absolutely.
Like so I really want to reiterate, like, the impression of increase is why we uphold ourselves to this consistency, why we engage so much discipline to be consistent each day, is because, again, it's the impression of increase. We're trying to make people feel better after they've spoken with us or met with us or interacted with us,
Right.
because that's helpful.
Yes.
If you're unpleasant and people don't feel good after they've met you, like, they probably want to avoid you. You've probably made them not as happy.
That's right.
So like, these are the things, like, just think of that, man, and just ask yourself, am I giving people the impression of increase? And if you're not, maybe you should start thinking about it, dude.
And start making those small little changes. It's doable. You can do it. It doesn't matter who you are, but you have to want to try. you can't want it if you're not willing to want to put some work in because you think there's no work. There's work just getting up.
Well,
In the
yeah,
morning.
and again, like you could just say good morning instead of going,
Yeah.
don't talk to me. I need to have my smoke and my coffee first. And it's like,
Well,
come on, are we children?
nope,
Yeah.
we're not. So why are we behaving and acting that way?
And so that's all there is to it, man. It is like so that's like take these lessons, apply them to our businesses. You know, like again, you know, what are they again? It's like, you know, so the impression increase is one part, caring, problem solving, and the key word is value, right? And like so, just giving value, and so
Stay
like
consistent with
it's like. So again, is like another thing that's happened, man. Like, I'm sorry, everybody, we haven't been doing this podcast for a while. Like, we're trying, man.
But that's okay, you know.
But what's happened again in between, you know, our last one and this one is so we've been making these kids books about recycling. Everybody already knows.
Yeah.
And again, like, I don't know, man.
Come on, tell them. Some really good stuff happened.
Well, like I think it's just very hard for me to like accept that like this is like my thing, you know, like writing kids books about recycling. I'm just like, that's my thing. Like,
It is your thing.
this guy's thing.
Yeah, that's right.
And so you know, like I'm like, okay, you know, like that's my thing, you know, and so I'm leaning into it, and like so like the whole thing from the beginning was like, you know, not only were we gonna do one book, we were planning to do a series of 4.
Right. Okay.
Right, because like the 4 is to do the full life cycle of like a product, right?
Right.
Like say like this thing is made out of stainless steel. Right, and so it's a new product, but like let's say like it breaks, there's a hole in it or something like that.
Right.
What am I going to do with it? But first of all, I had to be aware that it's made of stainless.
Right.
And so this is probably 304 stainless, or 18.8 as they call it. And so, you know, say like this thing has a hole in it, I'm going to bring it to a scrapyard because they will pay me money for the stainless. So like the first book was just being aware that this is metal.
Right.
The second book was, okay, what do we do with metal when it's broken? Well, you bring it to a scrapyard.
Right. So
Okay, then what does the scrapyard do? Oh, the scrapyard will sort all the different metals, and then they'll send them to, smelter or refinery to melt it down. And then what do they do with it? So, like, again, so we went from book 1 is awareness, book 2 is what happens to it.
Yeah.
Book 3 is like, well, after you've brought it to the scrapyard, then what happens?
Right.
Well, they melt it. And then what happens after they melted it? Then you make new shit out of it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, then the new shit, same thing. It just keeps going in a circle, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, this third book, man, like, kind of was wild to me because, like we were just like, well, that's the next book is the melting process.
Right, yeah.
And so we had like this really, really big company called Nucor.
Right.
And again, it's bizarre. Like no one's heard of Nucor. And I'm like, man, like they're only like the biggest. Anyway, like I'm in the recycling business, so I know it. But and like you can't cast that opinion on everybody else. But if you go and look at any high rise, certainly on the West Coast or wherever their locations are,
right,
almost every high-rise has Nucor steel within it, which is, I think, really cool.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So you had an opportunity to...
Yeah, so they just, like, they knew that we're doing this series of books, and they're like, well, hey, we want to be a part of...
Oh, fantastic. That's awesome.
The third book. And
right. That's exciting.
And so it's just like what I'm trying to get to is like, so they caught on to what we're doing, like, and so like, you know, it's kind of like, again, it's just the value.
It's the value, right? And when you build it, they will come, right?
Feel the dreams, bro.
Feel the dream, right? Right.
And so that's what it is. Yeah. And so they invited us for a tour of their facility, which was
oh wow, mind blowing, probably.
Like I mean like I'm just such a nerd with metal recycling that I was just like I could have stayed there for like a whole week
the whole
and been like,
process
this
would
is so
probably
cool,
do.
you know,
I
like
bet,
and like it's very cool.
That's cool. Well, I'm glad you had a chance to experience that, and now gives you an idea how now to make the next book.
Yeah, like not like we knew how to make the book. We knew what we were gonna write into it. We knew like even how like graphically it would look, you know, from our graphic artist, right? But like to have one of the biggest, if not the biggest,
Of
steel maker and recycler on the planet behind it, like I'm just like,
I'm so happy.
you know, like so I'm just saying is like again, it's just like, well, I'm not like this is just a real example of my business that I'm running, but like there's all of businesses out there that do the same thing, and if you're providing value, these magical things
will happen
right?
because you're giving value. You're keeping it consistent. Waving your hand, give me value. Give that guy value. Holding the door.
You said thank
you. Yeah,
you know, like
it's amazing.
Like it's just these little things. But again, is like then this is what we've always said is like so those little things that you do every day
consistently leads to big things later on.
And it's like the iceberg and all is
right,
below.
Exactly right.
It's because
keep on doing it.
like we've below the surface is what we've been doing is like we've been doing these little value things every day, little tiny value things,
minuscule.
like a please, a thank you. Can we help this customer?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll like the other day I was at the grocery store and a guy like had like those big water jugs or whatever and he lifted 2 on and I just lifted the similar to what you
simple stuff, right?
Little tiny things and you're like, well, those don't connect to anything. It's like, yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do. Yes, of course they do.
But like it doesn't make sense. Like I mean like you're like, well, I lifted a jug of water onto like the grocery line or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like that didn't matter, but it's kind of like it's like when you throw a rock in the ocean.
Yeah.
Right?
Ripple effect goes wider.
Yeah.
And yet a small, tiny little rock.
But people, like it's hard to think of that. You're like, no, I just threw a rock in there. It didn't do anything. It's like,
yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Change the entire ocean.
Change it.
Like,
exactly.
Really?
So
it's like,
but these things are happening every day around us, every day. We just need to pay attention to these things. Right? They're there. Don't stop waving. Don't stop saying thank you.
Consistency.
And please
discipline.
And thank you. It does pay off. And I'm here to tell you that it did pay off.
And again, like you're gonna ask yourself like why, why am I doing this, and like then that I think that's a standard question for entrepreneurs or for anybody that has a job. It's like why am I like again me driving to the frickin' recycling plant.
Yeah. There's a reason because you want to grow, you want to be better. So now you're a master. He's a master fly fisher now. Yeah, he's catching the big fishes. Yeah. All right, he's a professional. So he's gonna do a book about fly fishing now because now he's experienced it. No,
so not.
And you're not okay. Well,
give me like another 10 years.
Okay, all right then.
Maybe.
Okay,
maybe.
All right.
Maybe I can do a kids book on fly fishing.
I think you can, and I think you should. What do you think, Naran? You think he should?
No.
Absolutely.
No.
We got a thumbs up.
No.
From Naran, who says yes.
But like, I guess like all we're really trying to get to here is like we're trying to show you different forms of how you can give value in your personal life and in your business
as well,
right? And then you're like, well, okay, so if we continue to focus on giving value to our customer, well, what happens? Well, like your business continues to grow.
Yeah. And
it's just like that. It's like, again, we always want to make it simple. And it's like, that's it, man.
Yes, that's it. That's it. It's simple.
Why don't you wave at one of your customers?
Try it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like or get those air things, you know, like
Yeah. That.
yeah.
Yeah. Just give it a try. Just today, just set a small test for yourself and just try to say hi or say thank you or something, and just watch it, and just try to do that every day, and try something different every day, and watch for yourself to see what the reaction is when you do that. You'll see people light up and go, like I said, that guy lit up because he says nobody holds the door anymore.
Right. Right.
Nobody does that.
Yeah.
I said, well, it still exists. It's still alive. It's not dead yet.
Yeah.
And there are people out there who are gonna do that still. So we gotta do more of that, right?
It's the truth, man. And like so I just think like if there's some kind of advice that we're trying to pull out of this session, you know, it's just like, man, it's just like just start small.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly. It's just like no different than, you know, working out. You know, you go in there with a mindset, oh, I want to do everything. No.
Put on 4 plates.
Yeah. Put on 4 plates. Oh, no. Why don't you just take that 10 pound or that 5 pound and start doing a little something.
Dude, I just like doing the bar.
Yeah.
Because it's 45 pounds.
Yeah.
And it's like it's easy.
Yeah.
But yet you're still like getting your form perfect.
Work on the form.
Yeah.
Work on the consistency.
Yeah.
Don't try to rush what you're doing.
Because like when you got like plates on there, your form is like not even close.
Well, that's the reason why you start from the small and build up, right?
Yeah.
Give love to this small 10 pound. I know they're gonna laugh at you. Look at them with the 10 pound. But remember, you're working on your form. You're working that consistency. Work on that little one and go bigger, and all of a sudden you're there. Now you're putting 4 plates on there, and now you're heading for the Olympics. Now,
but like so like I mean to apply it to a business, right? It's like so hey, you know, I think there's like some stat like, you know, small businesses fail in like the first year or two or whatever. And it's just like, well, what is fail, man?
Yeah.
What is fail? There is no such thing as fail.
Nope.
Fail is really just quitting. You quit, right? And so
you never quit, man.
Comfort in discomfort. Comfort in discomfort. Right?
Comfort in discomfort.
You can make a reggae song about that, man. You know?
Let me tell you now, Mom, I tell you, man, you better find that what discomfort and the comfortness, you know. We're going to do it like this, ragamuffin style. Yeah, find the comfort in the discomfort, boy. Find it. Find the discomfort in the comfort, boy. Something like that. We're going to work on that. We're going to work on the lyrics.
That went like a little Irish.
I know, Irish, but you know,
but like the point is like, man, it is like, okay. So I think one of the things that we say is like to get ahead is like, so having a job is great. Is that like you're learning skills, you're learning people.
Absolutely.
And it's not like your business. Like it's kind of like, so a job is relatively like very little responsibility in the grand scheme of things of owning a business, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But the objective should be, I think for everybody, is that like have your own business, and it doesn't have to be a big business. It can be something super small, right?
Absolutely.
And so like that's kind of like, you know, it's hard, right? And again, it's a challenge, but the thing is like once you get it running,
oh man,
then like you reap all of the rewards from it, right? And so yeah, like I mean, just believe me, there's a lot of stuff that, you know, goes into running a business.
Oh, absolutely.
Sleepless nights, and then like thinking about all of the numbers, and then it's like, well, wait a minute, how does that gotta pay that? And it's like, wait a minute, hold on. And so, but like, if you keep doing it, you just get stronger each day
and get better each day. Like you said, keep it consistent. Don't give up. Just don't give up. Just keep on trying no matter what. You are gonna hit those.
It's meant to be hard. Otherwise, and again, everybody else would be doing it.
Yeah.
If it was easy, like everybody would be doing it. That's my usual phrase that I go to. And so it's like, no. Like anything that you really want, it's gonna be hard because like if it's easy, like then you don't even want it.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. Tupac said something like that.
There's
right.
No challenge in that. There's no.
I don't want it if it's too easy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Tupac.
Yeah.
You know? And so like it's true, man. It's like if you have a goal and you're like, "Oh, I really want to have like this."
Yeah.
And you get it easily, like
well, you don't appreciate it when it's given to you easily.
Totally.
But when you have to work for it, sweat for it
Mm-hmm.
and do the sweat equity, man, the feeling of achieving that is there's no amount of money that can.
Like my first my first car, my Pontiac Sunbird.
Yeah.
Bought it in Mount Clemens, Michigan. Man, like a Pontiac Sunbird was like probably like the shittiest car you could get. But man, it was mine.
It was yours, right?
And
exactly.
I would like, dude, every day I'm like washing. I'm like, look at that.
Look at that.
Like people
you
are
feel
like,
proud,
this
right?
guy is like,
yeah. No, I just find if it's given too easy, then again, people don't appreciate it. You don't find the value in it. But when you got them, let them work for it and earn it. Like I said, you felt good. That's your car. That's your baby. Yeah, you're making sure they don't scratch on it. Yeah, it's yours.
Yeah.
You feel good about it. So
but I also know like the work that went into it. All of the various jobs that I had to do to get it, man.
That's
and
right.
then also like what that asset could then do for me.
That's right.
It got me here and there and everywhere.
That's right. Exactly. More opportunity by having that vehicle to take you to different places.
So that was the goal.
Yes.
And the only way to reach that goal is to learn and get better and go through hardship and find comfort in discomfort. So it's just that's I think that's like the overarching theme of this session, man. Is just like
find comfort in discomfort.
Yeah.
Lauren, start writing those lyrics for this song, okay?
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that, man.
Yeah, find comfort in discomfort.
Yeah, I mean, like, because I mean, you go look at any entrepreneur, like any like Bill Gates, Bezos, like Warren Buffett, like all of these great business minds that are out there, and like you think like, oh man, like. Man, behind all of their stories, it's the same thing. It's hard work. Study, learning. Does that sound like fun? It's not fun, dude. It's boring, right? It's boring, but that's your path to success.
That's right.
Right?
I like boring.
I mean, again, going to bed at like 8:30 at night, I mean, it doesn't sound fun.
Because the sun is out and the dog is barking and people are having a good time and you got to go to bed at 8 o'clock, right?
No, not you got to. Yeah. You're choosing to.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like I love 8:30 bedtime.
Yeah.
It's great,
That's what you choose. It's a choice.
It's a choice because, like, I think we've talked about this before, is like nothing good happens after 9 p.m.
Yeah.
That's just what
Everything
I say.
Starts up in the morning where all the good things. What they say? What that saying? Early bird catches the worm. Right. So you got to get up early in the morning. Get yourself right. Get yourself walk good business right. Once you get yourself walk good business right, then everything seems tight and everybody think to work. Woo! Can I get a woo?
Hell yeah.
Come on. Yeah. Give me something to work with. Can I get a woo?
Yeah, I mean that's what it is.
Yeah.
Is like so again, we're not trying to push anything, man. Like if you want to read this book, cool. If not, you can listen to us for free.
Yeah. Yeah, either way, right?
Or maybe don't listen to us. That's fine.
It's your choice.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
But we're just trying to help.
Yeah. You don't have to like it. I don't have a mustache. It's okay.
You should grow a mustache. Man.
I should grow a mustache. Yeah.
But like yeah, I think like the overall concept is like okay, so everyone wants to be successful, and I think we were talking about this earlier where there was some sort of like an interview that I read where they were interviewing like high school students.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up, or what do you want to do, right? And like how it's kind of changed over the generations.
Yeah.
And like there was the great majority said that they wanted to be rich and famous.
Majority. That's good, but how many of them want to do the work?
Right. So like they have no idea what that movie star had to go through.
Right.
like from the age of 8
Yes.
and going to rehearsal
Rehearsals
and
and-
doing like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, so like you'll see Taylor Swift
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, dude, like, do you know that she's been doing that since she was like 5 years old?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
Right.
It's
right?
just like Michael Jackson or
Mhm.
whoever, man.
Yeah.
But like, you know, you just see the finished product, right?
yeah.
Again, we keep
I
bringing
mean,
back the iceberg.
Yeah, well, like I told you, it'll be with the band. Like, I mean, I'm going to rehearsal at 12 o'clock at night and got to be at work at 7 o'clock. So I'm only running on 2 hours sleep. And I get in there and I do my thing and come back, but they don't see that. Or going to the studio or paying for rehearsal. And then you have someone go, yeah, give me the album, give me. I said, man, you haven't even bought a ticket to come to the show. But do you know how much it costs to record just one song? The artwork of going in, the sacrifices that we made every day, sitting down at night, writing songs and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going, man, at least buy a copy.
Yeah.
And
then
it's
$10, dude.
Yeah,
Come on.
Exactly. So what I used to do is that, they buy a CD. If we have a show, then I'll buy a ticket
There you go.
for them to come to the show.
There you go.
So they gave me value, I'm giving them back value.
Boom.
And then they'll bring somebody else, right? And I'll give them value, right? So again, keep giving value. But the amount of work that went into being on stage and doing what we're doing, it's a lot of work.
Right.
But how many people want to do the work?
So
right?
that's all we're trying to say
Right.
here is like, so it takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah.
It takes, just learning, man.
Yeah,
Becoming better
always.
each day, trying to get better every
Keep
single
learning.
time.
Yeah.
Right.
Never stop learning. We're always going to learn one way or another. You're going to learn it. So keep your mind open and take in information, learn from those who have been there before you, and take what you can from it. And
And
forge
actually,
your own path.
if there's something that you want to do,
Yeah.
and I think we're probably getting to the close here, but like if there's something that you want to do in the business world, just think of what you want to do,
yeah.
and guarantee there's somebody else doing it.
Yeah, but
right?
don't worry about that.
Don't worry. First of all, don't worry about it. But actually, what you should do is you should become friends with them and go, hey, Delroy, I want to do what you're doing. Will you kind of teach me how to do it? And guess what? Most successful people will say is like, sure,
Yeah,
I'll help you. Those that are not successful won't try and help you.
because they're afraid.
Yeah, they're afraid, right?
Where a successful person has nothing to fear, but
Yeah.
going, if I can help an individual to grow and to, what do they have to lose? They're already successful. They're already there.
They're good.
So,
And they also know that so when you get to a certain level
Yeah.
with your business, competition doesn't exist. Now there's other businesses that are doing something similar to you.
Yeah.
They're not competitors,
nope.
right? So that's kind of like a next level kind of mentality, right? But if you're wanting to try and do a certain type of business, do not just jump into it.
Yeah.
Go find someone that's already doing it and just
Yeah.
talk to them.
Yeah.
And guess what? Maybe they might even become your business partner,
That's right.
right?
That's right. There you go.
So
I like that.
So yeah, I think that's what we're trying to say
Yeah.
with our book, with our philosophy, with these podcasts that we're doing. And
Yeah.
so, man, I think that was pretty good.
Hey, listen, we appreciate you, and we know you can do it. So get out there, challenge yourself, get out of that comfort zone. Tomorrow, go out there, say hi to somebody, hold a door, just do something positive and see what happens. And then, hey, send us a little something to like, hey, it did work, right?
Carry around like your little
Yeah.
checklist, like cut it down the center and go good and bad, and just do like lines, you
Yeah.
know? Like, oh, I did good. Oh, I did bad.
Yeah.
And then go
you can look at
results.
it.
Then go results
Oh,
underneath there,
right.
and go. Did you have good results or bad results?
Yes.
And it's that,
You will be amazed
Yeah,
in if you, like you're saying, tracking it and seeing the good and the bad, and then you can see a way how you can now tweak that to make more good and less bad. But if you don't have something to track,
you gotta try it.
go and try it.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think. Don't take our word for it. Give it a spin, and then hit us up and let us know, hey, how did it work for you? That's what we're saying. We're just saying, we appreciate you. Walk good.
Walk
Walk
good.
good business. Walk good. Feels like.